girls, and welcome to this week's Weird Wednesday. In today's show, we're going to talk about sharks detecting heartbeats. Oh, I saw that. That was weird. Cocaine smuggling.
That was right. Look, yeah.
That's why James isn't here.
Yeah.
The US secret underwater base, and plenty of other stories. So let's dive straight into the news. So first up, we have an underwater museum. A new museum is set to open its doors next summer in Florida. It's cool.
Open its doors.
Yeah, how are they going to open the doors? It will let all the water in.
Sorry, carry on.
So the only thing that you'll need is a scuba certification to get in. There must be some entrance fee though.
Do you reckon there's a pay on the door?
Those turnstiles. Yeah. You got to swim
around it.
So the Museum of Art will become the first permanent underwater sculpture museum in the USA. It's located just under a mile off the coast of Grayton Beach, which is one of the most popular beaches in the South Walton area. So when the museum opens, there will be 7 sculptures for people to view, and this is just phase 1 of 5, so there's plenty more on its way to the museum. That's cool. It's different. There've been quite a few sort of underwater sculpture parks, but not in this area.
Yeah, I think it's I say it's the first in in the USA. So.
Yeah. So the first 7 sculptures play homage to Jacques Cousteau's Aqualung, which was created in collaboration with students from a local Montessori school.
Well done. I don't know, yeah.
Montessori. Sounds like a dinosaur.
Yep.
So now the great thing about this museum is that it will bring new life to the area, strengthening the ecosystem around it. So it's a win-win for everyone. It should sort of increase tourism to the area as well, which would be nice.
Yeah, I think it's cool. It's an interesting thing that they're doing. You get local artists involved, you get local schools involved. Yeah. You know, it's just going to be a win-win for the community. And plus, if the beach is popular anyway, just to add to it, so you know, it just brings more style of tourism to it.
Yeah. More people see people going in scuba diving. They're like, oh, I might go scuba diving. Yeah. So yeah.
What's this underwater museum all about? Yeah, exactly. Feed him to the fish. Yeah, that's it. That's the story.
Yeah.
Anyway, now it's everyone's worst nightmare: falling overboard on a ship. But sadly, this nightmare became a reality for Brett Archibald. That's his name, Brett Archibald. Whilst on a trip off the northwest coast of Sumatra, yeah, Brett ate a rather questionable calzone pizza. And sure enough, at 1 in the morning, he woke up with pains in his stomach. So he quickly ran top of the deck and started vomiting. He was vomiting so strong, Mark, that he passed out.
Gross.
Next thing he knew, he was actually in the water and he'd fallen 6 metres off the boat. All he saw was the boat drift off as he was blacking out. And the problem is, 1 in the morning, you're in pitch black, no one sees you, no one really knew that you were up there. Yeah. It's bad.
Yeah, you need a man overboard.
Yeah, no. So it was just like, okay. And I don't think it helped as well. Like, basically, so he was kind of drifting in and out of consciousness, but he woke up with something hitting his head. And it turns out 2 seagulls decided to dive bomb him whilst he was, you know, kind of just floating in the water. They thought he'd make a nice meal. Yeah. Ugh, it's weird. Anyway, what's the worst thing? Whilst he was floating in the water, he was also, you know, I can't even get my words out today. Sharks started to bump into him and circle him. So he thought to himself at one point, yeah, that's it, you know. He's gonna die. You know, he kind of said his prayers. He was like, okay, I'm ready to die now. I'm getting circled by sharks. And as soon as he was ready, they swam off. And they just left him alone. So in total, he was actually in the water for over 28 hours until he was picked up by another boat. And luckily enough, you can read all about his story in his new book called Alone, Lost Overboard in the Indian Ocean. So, yeah, being stranded, being attacked by seagulls. I mean, being in the ocean itself for 28 hours is apparently a massive accomplishment. Yeah. Experts said he probably would have died, but because he did clever tricks, which he talks about in the book. You know, go read the article. To be fair, you know, he talks about, you know, swimming with the current rather than against it. You know, He did a trick where he found a bit of paper. He had a bit of paper on him. He took it out. He watched a bit of paper so he can figure out where the current was going, and then he just followed that bit of paper. So that kept him in the odds and kept him alive. So yeah. being left, just having sharks circling you as well. I mean, getting dive bombed by seagulls. He's living the dream.
Don't eat dodgy calzone and then go on a boat. Yeah. Apparently it was like buffalo meat or something.
Yeah,
so it's like this doesn't smell right. One of the other guys was like, "Oh, I'm sure it will be fine." He's just wolfing it down. He's like, "All right, yeah," like half of his,
and then boom.
Yeah.
I love the fact that he vomited so much he passed out.
He passed out. Yeah. Wow. So an American underwater base. So this is really just James Bond kind of stuff.
Yes, it is.
So a podcast called Stuff They Don't Want You to Know. It's one of these conspiracy theories that James subscribes to.
Yep.
So they've just released a rather interesting story where they talk about the possibility of underwater bases that are actually used by the United States military. They talk about how underwater bases make more sense because they're really hard to detect and infiltrate. Unless you're James Bond.
Yep.
James has done it a few times, he must have.
Yeah. Thunderbirds, they probably do that.
So now we know that underwater bases were actually created back in World War II in Bayview, Idaho, and underwater hotels seem to be they're becoming a thing. So yeah, we actually made a video on. Cheeky link on underwater hotels. So now cost will have to come.
So also cost have come into play.
So
making the bases cheaper, or the bases basically they wouldn't be cheap. So there's been a thing where they're saying it's going to cost a lot of money. So they've tested it, but because of the hotels are doing it, the cost isn't cheap. But if you read the next paragraph, there's a certain country getting involved where they're
I didn't write the script.
No,
so China, on the other hand, have started to build their own underwater base, which is planned to live 3,000
meters.
3,000 meters.
3,000 meters.
3 kilometers under the South China Sea. All right.
They can swim to that. Hold your breath.
So now China are sort of in on the act. You know that USA are just going to jump into it and have a Trump underwater tower. Yeah, Donald Trump would do it. It'll be gold.
It'll be gold.
It'll be the one that's the easiest to find.
Yeah, even on Google Earth you'll see it straight away.
It'll be just glowing. Yeah, there it is.
Right, let's bomb that.
Yeah, it's so tall it's actually poking out of the water. And don't forget the US government have just confirmed that they once had or still have a UFO team, so really anything is possible. So do you guys think there are secret underwater bases? Let us know in the comments below.
Yes.
It was Jacques Cousteau. Jacques Cousteau started off this living underwater just to see whether it was feasible, and it kind of is. Yeah. It's just the upkeep and all the work that goes towards it and decompressing on the way back.
Don't worry about it. Just take that pill that we had in the Future of Diving Part 2.
3,000 meters. They'll be on high helium mixes.
Why not talk like that?
Yeah, but there isn't that much helium left in the world.
Yeah, there isn't, because it's all going to China. And their base, 3,000 meters underwater.
3 kilometers. Huh? Why?
Because what? Because China.
Because China have secrets.
Yes. Really deep secrets.
Okay, guys, have you seen our latest video, 5 embarrassing dive stories? It dropped on our channel on Friday, so if you want to have a laugh, you should go check it out. And if you have an embarrassing dive story, why not start up a conversation in the comments below? Yes. We enjoy reading comments, usually. Yeah, when they're sensible.
None of them, they're never sensible. Anyway, so have you ever been kept up at night thinking about, can sharks detect heartbeats? I know, I haven't. But for a production company in Perth, they've spent 8 years trying to find out and, of course, film the results. So, Terra Australis, whatever they're called, have been pushing boundaries of the ocean cinematography for the past years, or couple of years, using drones and thruster-powered shark cages.
Cool.
Yeah, to capture apex predators underwater. But the latest project, which obviously has been 8 years in the works, has been creating the world's first heart simulator to see if sharks detect heartbeats. So they built the machine thanks to the Harry Perkins Medical Institute of Medical Research, can't believe I said that.
Yeah.
Which could go, basically, it can go underwater and monitor the beats of the hearts and to see what happens. So the machine itself existed, it's just that they never had it housed before and it was never available to go underwater.
Yeah.
So this production company was
Why
like,
would
right,
it?
yeah, exactly. So this production company was like, right, well, we're going to build a unit for it where we can get it to work. It won't be interfered with any pressure or anything like that, and it'll stay airtight.
Yeah.
So that's obviously what they've been working on. So what they did was pretty scary. It turns out from the footage that sharks can actually pick up heartbeats, and what's even more scarier is that the more sporadic your heartbeat is, the more attracted the shark is to you. So
Makes
you
sense.
panic.
Yeah, well, they've got their electroreceptor lateral line thingy-bob, so yeah, every time the SAN fires, it will go, ooh.
Yeah.
So when a fish is all kind of panicky, it's, yeah.
Sporadic, yeah.
Yeah.
So it kind of tells us something that we already knew, I guess.
But it confirms it.
But it confirms it. Of course, this is the first test, so it'll be interesting to see what other results they get. They plan to test the machine in great white shark waters. Now that will be interesting.
Yeah, because they tested it on bronzies, and it was basically a pig heart in a big sphere with a pipe going into it, and yeah, they just kind of changed it from 60 BPM to like 120, and the shark was like, woof.
Yeah,
So-
straight on it. It's just like, you're not food, I can't eat you. See you
Yeah.
later, I'm bored.
Whereas they reckon a great white will just.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Would be cool. It's the start of something interesting. Good old pig hearts.
It was interesting that they were wearing Hex wetsuits, which is a new type of wetsuit, which basically means that fish don't detect your electrical ness.
Well, if you're gonna do it,
Yeah, be camouflage from the sharks.
I mean, they've got thruster-powered shark cages. That's nothing to them having hex wetsuits.
I want their job. Okay, so Scareface would be proud? Oh, Scarface. Scarface would be proud. Oh, this must be the cocaine one. So the US Coast Guard intercepted a self-propelled semi-submersible vessel near Texas. So what was in the vessel? Hello Kitty goods, maybe? Knockoff Rolexes? No. It was 3,800 pounds of cocaine.
That's just my weekend
Yeah,
right
so
there.
a short weekend.
Just a little bit,
So of course the Coast Guard knew the shipment was going to be in the waters due to a multi-day operation, and the Coast Guard was working with the US Navy.
so it's only a small thing.
Yeah, a few guys and girls just getting together.
Yeah.
So they managed to track a boat which was out in international waters that was linked to the vessel, and arrested the passengers of the boat. And it's also believed to be linked to a massive drug cartel. So now that's a lot of fairy dust, and I can't really imagine how much that's worth. But how much is it worth, James?
James would know. James, how much is it worth?
He's pleading the fifth.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, just imagine that self-propelled.
semi-submersible. They're getting smart, man.
They're massive. Well, they would be.
Because yeah, that will have a massive street value of like millions.
At least £10.
You just know there was someone on the beach in a certain area just kind of waiting for it to arrive when it never did, and they were like, come on.
Could pick my kids up at school.
Okay, so we're going to leave it on this funny video of some surfers getting chased around by some sea lions. I don't know why you've moved the script. I wasn't saying that, Jane. Thank you.
He's getting told off. Till it's the end of the year. End of the year.
He's on the ball.
He's on the ball.
You can tell he pays attention. So this is quite a funny video that we found this morning. These guys were surfing. They were coming to the end of their set, and someone got a nudge by some dark shadow in the water. They freaked out, thought it was a shark. Turns out it was sea lions, and these sea lions really, really wanted them out of the water. They chased them out of the water, and they're chasing them along the beach
It's
as well.
so funny.
It's trying to fend them off with the surfboard.
The fact that one of them tried to have a standoff.
Yeah, it's like, no.
Mate, the sea lion's going to eat you. Don't stand up to the dome. I love that video.
And on that note, so rather than jumping into our last story that I usually would do, I just want to say a quick few words at the end of the year. This is sadly the last Weird Wednesday that we're going to do. But don't worry, the show isn't really going where we're going to put more.
I don't know. It's autocorrect. So it's not really going. we're going to put more light-hearted stories into Scuba Tube. Yeah, all right.
Yeah. So Scuba Tube is going to sort of take over. So that's going to be a weekly thing.
Yeah.
But instead of being a serious show and a funny show with Weird Wednesday, it's just going to be a serious, funny show.
Yeah. So what we're going to try and do, we're going to mix it up. So we just wanted to make one really good news and entertainment show for everyone to enjoy. So we do have some really cool, exciting ideas coming up for 2018, but obviously we're going to be talking more about that in the holiday period.
Yep.
But what I'd like to know, or what we'd like to know, is what you would like kind of Scuba Tube to be. So at the moment, obviously, it's mainly news, so we just do like 3 headlines, then we do a promo video, then we do 3 headlines. Yep. Is there anything else that you would want to have in there? So maybe we don't do so much news, maybe gear reviews, maybe Q&As, interviews, or something like that. Just let us know in the comments below what you would like to see, and then hopefully we can make it happen. Yeah, we just want to we build up a base. We've got so far with this that Scuba Tube needs to kind of go on the next level.
Yeah, we've had a great 2017. Thanks very much for watching all of the shows. As always, thank you for watching and safe diving.
Oh, hold on, you haven't said about the special lineup. Yeah, so basically...
I was waiting for the scroll monkey to wake up.
Anyway, come on, James, he needs a banana. So keep going. So what we're going to do, obviously next week we're not going to be here. This is our last show. So we have something special lined up as well for you guys. So hopefully you're going to enjoy that. So just wishing you a very Merry Christmas. And we'll see you fresh-faced, hopefully me, because I only got about 3 hours sleep last night, hence why I can't even read. Yeah, so have a good one, and Happy New Year as well.
Bye, guys.
Oh, we changed it. We reversed.
Yeah.
Safe diving. I didn't like that. I didn't like that.